people that have internships are struggling to get jobs, what is the thought process behind you not even having any internship, no volunteer experience, and thinking, okay, I'm just going to somehow get a job, and then you graduate and then you just complain about the job market?
Okay, welcome. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to Get In Girl.
Hey girl. Hi. Welcome to another episode of the Get In Girl podcast. Honestly, I started this out to be like a seasonal, like season 1. I don't know when I'm going to end the first season, but it may be coming up soon because I believe this is episode 13. Which seems, oh my God, literally episode 13 during Halloween. I don't really celebrate Halloween because I'm Nigerian and we did not have Halloween growing up. But anyway, 13th episode in the month of Halloween. Let's get into it. So if you clicked on this episode, there is a good chance that you've probably whispered to yourself or like said under your breath, or you're sitting at a desk or even working from home being like, bro, I hate my job. Like, this is crazy. Maybe every time it's, Sunday evening and you know that you're going to have work the next day, you're filled with anxiety, or maybe like you sit in a meeting and you feel invincible, or maybe you're great at the work that you do, but the work is no longer great for you. If that is you, hating your job, I want to say that hating your job does not make you ungrateful, because, the job market that we currently have, lots of people are currently searching for jobs, and you may have a job, or maybe you're even looking for a job and you're like, oh, I don't even want this job thing. Or maybe I have a job and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even like this job. That doesn't really make you ungrateful. That's kind of just like the current situation that we're all in. Because if you are working at a job and you feel like you're putting in, a phrase that's very popular is like overworked and underpaid. And we kind of just like kiki and we like laugh at it, but it's so common. If you're overworked and you're underpaid, and underpaid could range across many different things. It could be like, okay, you're not even getting paid enough to meet your bills, or it could be like, okay, yeah, like you're getting paid enough to meet your bills, but like the level of the work does not even match the level of the pay. Like the work is all the way up here and your pay is literally down here. That's a huge discrepancy. Or it could even be like you're putting in a lot of effort at work and it's not being recognized, and you're just like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So this episode is for you. We're going to talk about all things career and all things job in this episode. Literally the first time that I decided that I wasn't going to work a corporate job for the rest of my life was after I moved to Canada. This was in like, I don't remember when this was, but maybe like, I want to say 2018. I don't know why it gets so foggy. But anyway, I moved to Canada in like 2018. And I remember I got my first job and I was so excited to get my first job because I was like, oh my God, like I get to be a working woman. I get to go to work and make my own money. And this is so amazing. I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait. And then when I literally started the job, and also I remember like I literally was looking for a job for a very long time because that was my first job in Canada. And still it was like, I was still looking for like a retail job, but like that didn't really matter because I didn't actually have anything else on my resume. And I had to put some like volunteer experience and whatnot. But I remember when I finally got the job and I was really excited. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, this is amazing, this is amazing. And then very shortly afterwards, I remember, I think school was on a break and I was working full time. So I would literally go to work. Let's say I would go to work. I'd wake up at like 6 a.m. because I, gotta get ready, have breakfast, leave for work. And then I'll wake up at 6 a.m. Let's say if I had like a 9 a.m. shift, wake up, leave the house for like 8 o'clock. And then I'll be done at 6 o'clock. I'll get home at like 7, have breakfast. I'm like, okay, it's already like 9, 10. Like I need to go to bed to be up for the next day. And I did this for like a week or two, literally just back to back to back to back. And literally within a week of me working full time, I was like, I'm sorry, back up. Is this what the people be doing? Like, is this the working class woman that everybody's like talking about and so excited about? It was such a shock to my system because a lot of people worked when they were like 15 and 14. I was like 18 and that was my first job. And I was just like, damn, this is crazy. And that's really what got me into like personal finances, which, you know what, should actually be a whole other episode. That is what got me into personal finances, because I was like, this is not really the kind of life that I want to do. And it really got me curious about like, there's no way everybody else in the world does this. Go to work, come back, go to work, come back. Like, this is just not a fulfilling life. And I don't want you to think this episode is a pro entrepreneurship or anti 9 to 5, because I'm going to be very honest with you guys. It doesn't have to be either or. It literally does not have to be either or, because if you are wanting to, like, if you're feeling unsatisfied with your job and you're like, okay, well, this is not really the job that I want to go for, and you're trying to build something on the side, you really don't have to, or like, I don't really subscribe to this idea of like, okay, like quit your job immediately to go full on into entrepreneurship. I will fully well keep working at a corporate job until I'm like, okay, like my business can fully support me and my lifestyle, and then I'll quit. Like, that's kind of the kind of person I am. I'm not gonna like quit it to go 100% in it. And that may take a little bit longer time frame. And I think that's okay, because to me, security is important. And if security is important to you too, that's completely okay. But then if you're watching this and you're like, okay, well, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. That is true. That is very true. Even as an entrepreneur, there's different levels. Like, there's people that I know that are entrepreneurs, and the way that they work, I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm not doing that, respectfully. And it may take longer, and like that's okay to me. But not everybody is built for entrepreneurship. Not everybody is interested in entrepreneurship. And you're wondering, okay, I'm not interested in entrepreneurship. Like, what is the next step for me if I hate my job? Hear me out. If there are a particular set of skills that you have and you feel like it's not really being utilized, you're like, okay, I'm supposed to be in like this marketing field, but like I just ended up working retail, or I'm supposed to be in a completely different field, or I'm just not happy in the field that I'm in. My number one advice is to find a new field. Because if you're trying to do something and it's not working, Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not going to change. If you're complaining and your complaints are valid, like the workplace is not it. A lot of jobs are just not it. So your complaints are valid, but your complaints being valid does not change the fact that you're still going to need to do something if you want things to change. That's just the name of the game. That is just the name of the game. So if you're like, okay, I'm not working in the field that I want to be working in, what I always recommend, and this is something that I did for myself as well when I was starting out, and I didn't have a lot of experience, but also I knew that, okay, in 4 years, I'm going to be done with school and I want to work in HR. And everybody's already complaining like, okay, the job market is shit. And this applies if you don't even have a job and you're looking. But everybody's already complaining like, oh yeah, the job market is not it. Like, it's so hard to find a job nowadays. Whatever. Literally, I'm like, okay, I have 4 years to get my thing together. I literally have 4 years. When I worked in the career management center at SFU, I would literally see people come in, they're like, oh yeah, this semester is my last semester. What can I do to make sure I have a job in my last semester, like after my last semester? Like, you waited 3 months, like 3 months to the end, and now you're kind of trying to scramble. And then you kind of wonder like, oh, like how come I'm not getting a job, blah, blah, blah. And there is something to be said about the fact that even people that have internships are struggling to get jobs. But even if people that have internships are struggling to get jobs, what is the thought process behind you not even having any internship, no volunteer experience, and thinking, okay, I'm just going to somehow get a job? And then you graduate and then you just complain about the job market. Don't shoot the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger. The job market is crazy. It is 100%. It is crazy. Even people with a lot of experience are struggling. You're not going to go very far if you don't give yourself a fighting chance at all. That's what I'm going to say. If, you're currently looking for a job and you're wondering what to do. That's all I'm going to say on that. But then back to if you're already in a job and you're kind of looking to pivot, I've seen a lot of commentary about like, oh, well, I don't really want to, I don't know, like get a new certificate or like go back to school or like have to build a portfolio because, you know, I've already worked in this field for 10, 15 years. I've already worked in this field for like 2-3 years and I just don't want to start over. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You guys know. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to be very upfront with you. The time is going to pass anyway. The time is literally going to pass anyway. So if you're like, oh, it's going to take me like a year to do this certificate, or oh my God, it's going to take me a year to figure this thing out, or to do XYZ, or to build a portfolio, or it's going to take me 2 years to actually, you know, get my own business off the ground. The time is going to pass anyway. Like, we're currently in 2025. In 2 years, it's going to be 2027, regardless of what you do. So it's either you actually take action from today so that in 2 years, you're not complaining about the same thing, or you stay where you are and do nothing and just complain. And in 2 years, when time eventually passes, as it always does, you're still in the same place complaining about the same thing. I don't know. Look, I should have told you to sit down at the start of this episode. I should have told you to sit down at the start of this episode. If you are struggling, if the field that you're in is not the field that you want to be, number one thing you need to do, if you don't have experience in the field, or maybe the experience that you have is not enough, you need to be volunteering. You need to be, I preach this to everybody who wants to listen to me. You need to be volunteering. If you're in school and you're trying to figure out how can I get a job afterwards, you need to volunteer. I don't want to hear like, oh, but I'd rather get paid. Everybody would rather get paid. But if you don't have the experience, baby girl, you don't have the experience. You don't have enough of the experience. You gotta, like, clearly what you're doing is not working. Like, what other choice do you have? Like, at least give yourself a fighting chance. You need to be volunteering. If you don't want to volunteer, at least build a portfolio. Like, okay, for example, I'm going to use marketing. You're in marketing, right? And let's say you want to do social media marketing, or you want to do like brand marketing, or you want to do like whatever. Literally, that is such the perfect place, because there's so many, even if you like you're a website developer, there's so many like neighborhood houses, there's so many like volunteer organizations that their websites just look bad. You could be like, okay, well, I'm going to do this for you at a really low rate, or I'm going to do this for you for free. And they're probably going to be like, yeah, bet. Like, you're going to find 1 or 2 people that are going to be like, yeah, that's cool. Like, come do this for us. And once you do that, that's literally one thing in your portfolio. And if you don't want to have a portfolio, you're like, okay, well, I don't want to have to pay for a website. You can literally just have in like PowerPoint slides, a before and after, or like post on LinkedIn and have a before and after. Like, oh yeah, I worked on this website. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. And just build more stories of that and put that stuff on your resume, bro. If you don't want to do a portfolio, then volunteer. Literally, you can volunteer. You can put, if you go to my LinkedIn, bro, there's volunteer roles on my LinkedIn. I think even my resume till today. Do I still have volunteer stuff on there? I probably still have volunteer stuff on there. Because I used to, even literally in this video, I was like, oh yeah, when I used to work at the Career Management Center, I was a volunteer. Was I volunteer? I think I was volunteer for a little bit, and then I like graduated into the like paid role. But I started out as a volunteer. People always say like, oh, well, I want to get paid. I want to get paid. I want to get paid. I remember being in school and we were like, oh, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm volunteering for XYZ because, you know, I'm in HR and I want to make sure I'm setting myself up for success. And like, well, I just want to get paid. Yeah, bro, everybody wants to get paid. But then you kind of have to plan ahead. You have to give yourself a fighting chance. If you're complaining like, oh yeah, the job market is shit, like, what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to make sure things are different? Because if you're not doing anything and you're just complaining, time is going to pass anyway. And then it's going to be 2 years, it's going to be 5 years, and you're going to be in the same position complaining about the same thing. So if you don't like your job, or if you're struggling to get a job, you have to identify, okay, what is it about this job that I don't like? If it's like, okay, I have the experience, but this is not really the field that I want to work in. Or if it's like, okay, well, this is like, my skills are not really being utilize. I feel like you're in the best spot to pivot because you already have the skills, you already have the experience. You just really need to, go out there, update your resume. Bro, with ChatGPT, I don't know what people do. I'm sure there's people, I shouldn't say that. Like, I know there's people using ChatGPT to update your resume. And if you're not, you really need to get on your Zoom and like get to that. I always include a cover letter with every application that I send in. Personal things, because especially now, like everybody's resume, not everybody's resume, but like resumes are getting better in general. So like if everybody's resume is like maybe like before without ChatGPT, your resume could be like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, and then other people like a 6 out of 10, and can be like, okay, I can get by on just having a resume, a really good resume. But now if everybody's resume is like an 8 out of 10, what else are you using to buttress your point? Because even applying for jobs is literally just marketing yourself. Identify what it is that you don't like about your current job if you hate it, and then pivot. If you don't have the skills, volunteer, build a portfolio, do what you need to do to gain the skills, to gain the experience. If you do have the experience, or after you've collected the experience, you can still be at your job too. Like nobody's asking you to quit your job. Like nobody's asking you to quit your job at all. Like all the volunteer things, all the volunteer experience that I did, I always had a job with my volunteer experience. I was in school, I was volunteering, I had a job. There's even a semester that I had, I literally had like 3 jobs. I think I've said this on this podcast before, but even the job that I had on campus, like it started out from me volunteering at my first school, and then I did like a college transfer, but it started out as me like volunteering from my first school and using the transferable skills that literally my first HR experience was a volunteer experience. It was a volunteer experience. And I used that to like, oh yeah, like transferable skills, and you need to package. Like, instead of saying, oh yeah, because it was like an orientation role. I don't know if anybody else on my orientation team used that as HR experience. We were all in different fields. Like somebody was in communication, somebody was in HR, like I was in HR, somebody was in like science. Same experience, and we all literally had it on our things. Transferable skills. Just me being like, oh yeah, I was able to, because for the orientation leader, I was helping like the other volunteers. I was basically training the other volunteers. That's HR. That sounds like HR to me. It may not sound like HR to you, but that sounds like HR to me. Use that one to get the career management center job. That went into a paid job. I started working on like campus for like the international student office, and then use that to get an internship, use the internship to get a job, use that job to get like literally just building. And where did that come from? Just pre-planning. I could have been like, oh yeah, I'll just figure it out when I get to the end, and like when I graduate. It's too late. It's never too late actually. But the sooner that you start, the sooner that you can be in a better place. That's it. That's literally what I want to talk to you about for this episode. If you hate your job, I'm just going to reiterate. If you hate your job, you need to identify what it is about your job that you hate. Like if it's a problem of money, or if it's just a problem of like, oh, like you just don't like the work culture, you should be applying. I actually know someone that even when they're employed, they just apply to new jobs like every year just to see what's out there, or just to brush up your interview skills, because you got to stay ready. Because the way these people be moving that's a different topic. Figure out what it is about your job that you don't like. If it's a situation of like, okay, I'm in a field where my skills are not being utilized, or I would want to be in this other field, but I don't have the experience, you should be volunteering, you should be building a portfolio. You can DM me if you want to find out more information, if you have any more questions. And if you're a new grad, or if you're still in school, bro, you're literally in the best place you could be in. You should start working on your resume today while you're in school before you graduate. Don't graduate and then join the people complaining that the job market is shit. The job market is not good. You gotta give yourself a fighting chance. Time is going to pass anyway. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, I don't want to do all that, like it's going to take a while for me to build up a portfolio. It might take a year, it might take 2 years. It's going to be 2 years and 2 years anyway. 2027 is going to come in 2 years anyway. Where do you want to be in 2027? That is all that I have for this video. If you really found this helpful, make sure you send it to a friend that, is also looking to pivot in their career. Make sure you follow the show, subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. And as always, send me a DM if you have any questions. I will see you same place, same time on the Getting Girl podcast. I love you so much. Bye.